Hello everyone, so an update here on Operation Spiderweb, a mixture of good news and bad news. Firstly, we'll get the good news out of the way. Now, remember how yesterday we looked at Ukrainka Air Base and the video playing now, showing that one of the lorries loaded with drones didn't reach its target and instead detonated at the side of the road? Well, satellite imagery now detects that at least one FPV drone did manage to launch and attack the airbase, damaging or destroying a Tu-95. On screen now is with before, and this isn't very clear satellite imagery unfortunately. Here's the aftermath. So signs of fire damage on the spot where the Tu-95 was. Again, not clear footage to fully confirm unfortunately, but it definitely looks like one was hit. To the left as well, you can see signs of fire in the nearby field. Here's a second image showing it, a side-by-side comparison. Ukrainka is home to the 79th Heavy Bomber Aviation Regiment and the 182nd Guards Aviation Regiment. They fly Tu-95 Bears. This base is in Russia's far east and very far from Ukraine, nearly 6,000 kilometers to the border. I don't think Russia ever imagined this base would get bonked by Ukraine. It is an odd one though. Early reports said that the truck detonated en route and never made it, and we saw a video of one by the side of the road burnt out, with the vehicle itself driven off, leaving the trailer behind. The fact that only one bomb was hit suggests that most of the swarm didn't make it to the airbase. My initial theory was that the driver smelt a rat and abandoned the trailer alongside the road like this, and it remote detonated. That could still be the case. He abandoned it here, out of range of most of the drones, with just a handful being able to make it to the airbase. But it looks like at least one Tu-95 was hit, so something did come off the Ukrainka one. Our next imagery is a bit clearer and a bit better. Ivanovo Air Base, the imagery is shared here. 3 spots are highlighted which I'm going to zoom in on. Starting off with a big one on the right, we have a destroyed Il-76 transporter. You can see the clear shape of the airframe here, and it's burnt out and destroyed. Ukraine did report that a few of these were hit, so here could be one. Above it to the left though, I'm not sure. It looks like debris is here, but I'm not sure from what. However, some reports online are saying that this debris was already here before the attack and the Il-76 airframe, using this satellite image here. It's hard to tell. There's staining and stuff there, but the image is just not clear enough to tell if the debris and the wrecked Il-76 were here already, or if it's just a standard Il-76 parked here. For now, I'm going to put this Il-76 as inconclusive until we get clearer satellite imagery or proof that the destroyed one was here before. An Il-76 did crash here in 2024, shown here after its engine caught fire. So this could certainly be the wreck and debris from that one moved into this part of the base for storage. But again, we are going to have to wait for the clearer satellite imagery of the before and after. This is the area as seen on Google Maps, so Il-76s are shown here. Unfortunately, this is before the 2024 Il-76 crash, so it isn't any evidence that Il-76s were parked here unfortunately. Now, a small debris. If it is damage as a result of Operation Web, then I wonder if Il-76s were hit and damaged, knocking bits off like say parts of the wings and parts of the body and that sort of thing, but weren't fully destroyed and Russia has already towed them away, the debris being bits of a damaged plane. The one that burnt out, too wrecked to tow and move at the moment. It's all I could think of as there are signs of debris here but not a burnt out aircraft. But again, we're going to have to wait for further confirmation. That's not all from here. Check out the A-50. This has been hit. There's darkened areas and signs of damage around the radar. The airframe is intact, but this definitely got hit by something. These are highly specialised aircraft. These won't be able to operate with damage like this, especially damage to the key part, the radar. This will need a trip to casualty for repairs, so it is out of action. This is the best strike of the night, even better than the bombers, because this is Russia's last active A-50 AWACS aircraft. Russia had 21 airframes, but most of those were not operational anymore. Of the 3 operational aircraft at the start of the war, 2 have already been shot down by Ukraine. They did manage to move one of the non-operational A-50s to a repair facility at Taganrog, the only facility able to repair and maintain A-50s. This repair facility has been hit by missiles and drones, so the facility may not be operational anymore. It's even possible that the one which was undergoing repairs there got damaged in those strikes. These are huge losses because they're airborne early warning aircraft. Russia uses them to help command the skies over Ukraine, coordinate its air attacks and its fighters for air defense, and has even used the A-50's radar in conjunction with long-range S-300 and S-400 batteries to detect and target Ukrainian Air Force at range. So, the A-50, a massive loss. Ivanovo is over 700 kilometers to the border with Ukraine, as you can see here. So far, we could confirm an A-50 damaged and out of action, another Bear destroyed at Ukrainka. Now, the bad news. Dyagilevo, which Ukraine also targets with drones, shows no sign of damage to the aircraft here. It's a mixture of Il-76 transporters, Tu-95 Bears, Tu-22Ms and Su-30 SM fighters seen on the satellite imagery. The imagery isn't very clear, but the analysis by AVVector on Twitter concludes no damage caused to the aircraft here, but highlighted in red are traces of fire on the ground. Now, this imagery is not very clear, so we can't say for 100%. It is possible that some of the aircraft were hit, and whilst not completely destroyed, did obtain some structural damage which warrants them being repaired. But we will need much clearer satellite imagery to confirm that. I am hopeful that might be the case with the Il-76 parked near the fire damage. If the aircraft wasn't fueled at the time, then it is possible that it got hit by a drone without becoming a fireball, like the Tu-95 Bears that we saw at Olenya Air Base. So, overall, the damage confirmed with satellite imagery at the moment is, as seen in this image from Belaya, a destroyed Tu-22M3, 3 destroyed Tu-95 Bears, and a damaged Tu-95 Bear. Not highlighted by the uploader, this aircraft here, which was towed from its parking spot, and I would say is lightly damaged as well. To me, it definitely looks to show signs of damage. In the Reverment area, 3 Tu-22M3s destroyed. The imagery is low quality, so we may be able to add more to the tally once we get clearer imagery of the base. At Ukrainka, 1 destroyed or damaged Tu-95 Bear. At Ivanovo, 1 damaged A-50 AWACS, definitely out of action for a while, and repairing it is going to be very tricky with the only repair facility being at Taganrog, which is easily hittable by Ukrainian drones and missiles. I think we could put that A-50 at damaged beyond repair really. Also possibly 1 Il-76 which we're going to be able to confirm once we get clearer satellite imagery from before the strike. Dyagilevo, nothing so far. So we're still awaiting satellite imagery from Olenya Air Base, but we saw multiple burning aircraft at that base, so we could definitely add more to our tally soon. Now, the effect of Ukraine's strikes so far. I have a video shared by War Translated with subtitles, showing that after this strike, Russia is now searching any lorries and vans near Ivanovo Air Base. I'll play it in full.
Короче, поселок Средний, там что-то перекрыли дорогу. Мы сейчас ехали практически по полям, реально прям скакали. Выехали опять на асфальт. Тут просто огроменная пробка из фур. Я не знаю, сколько это уже длится километров. Короче, жесть.
So Mildred recorded an absolutely massive traffic jam of lorries here, and I don't think Russia can stop searching them anytime soon, over fears that Ukraine has more attacks like this planned. As predicted, these strikes by Ukraine are going to cause absolute chaos in Russia near military targets like this one, with any and all lorries and trucks and vehicles like this needing to be searched by the police and army in case they're carrying drones rather than cargo. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Ukraine doesn't have a sleeper lorry already in position, or ready to go as soon as the heat dies down so we can kick things off again. I don't think this is the last time an attack like this will take place. Finally, and this is a big one. This snippet was shared online and posted by a Kremlin-controlled media outlet, Tsargrad, on May 31st, so before Operation Web took place. It reads, "Such logistical and aviation activity has not been observed since 2021. Western analysts agree that Russia is accumulating strike potential to launch a coordinated attack on Ukrainian infrastructure, energy, transport hubs, and decision-making centres. I'll pause there. Now, I could speak Russian twaddle. Energy, transport hubs, and decision-making centres are Russian code words for shopping malls, hospitals, and schools, the usual targets for Russia's missile strikes. Unless the Ukrainian generals discuss their plans in HMV, I don't think Russia has hit a decision-making centre yet. Their strikes target civilian infrastructure. Continuing on, it says such an operation, according to some sources, has received the provisional name Zeus Lightning and may be connected with the course of diplomatic negotiations. Its goal? To force Kyiv to accept Russian conditions under the threat of a conflict moving into the most severe and fleeting phase. So, basically summarised, Russia is planning a coordinated mass missile strike using its strategic aircraft on Ukrainian cities prior to Operation Spider's Web, pretty much with the hope of inflicting massive civilian casualties on Ukraine and force Zelensky to accept Russia's conditions for surrender. So Operation Spider's Web nipped that one in the bud. With half of Russia's bomber fleet burning, Russia didn't carry this out. Now let's segue back to Russia's bomber fleet. Wikipedia, using Flight Global as a source, puts the total number of airframes at 56 Tu-22M, 47 Tu-95 Bears, and 22 Tu-160s, with more on order. However, many of these airframes are not active. Many of them haven't moved in over a year. A few examples have been shared by a secret squirrel on Twitter. Let's go through them. These are taken from various air bases throughout Russia. So we have Tu-95 with missing engine. Here, a Tu-95 with lots of oil staining around it, so it's suffering from incontinence and missing propellers. Here, one missing an engine. This one hasn't moved for 18 months and is missing propellers and an engine. This one again hasn't moved for 18 months and is missing a propeller. This one has been here for 3 years, missing a propeller. And here, missing a propeller as well. So already, a big number of those Tu-95 airframes are not operational. Russia hasn't produced components or parts for the engines in 30 years, so many can't fly anymore. Others have had to be cannibalised for spare parts to keep others flying. So the active Tu-95 fleet was already much less than those 47 airframes. This is also true for the Tu-22M fleet. Take Kaluga Air Base. This base was hit by Ukraine in 2022. Destroying a pair of Tu-22M bombers. Since then, the Tu-22 fleet was dispersed from here, but Google Maps imagery from 2023 shows airframes still here. All of these are non-operational ones, like this one here, missing a wing. In total, there are 8 airframes left at Kaluga, which again is not an active bomber base now because of its short range to Ukraine, making it too risky to station the aircraft here. So, the active Tu-22M fleet is far lower than the 56 airframes that Russia has. Now, it does look like fewer than 41 aircraft as initially claimed have been hit and destroyed so far. The number seems like, once we get confirmation from Olenya Air Base with satellite imagery, to be more around the 20 mark. But still, a massive strike. Hopefully we'll get confirmation that some were hit and damaged to boost that number up a bit. I'm hopeful more from Belaya Air Base would have been hit in the Tu-22M parking bay, but just weren't damaged enough to show up on the initial satellite imagery, or weren't fueled up and so didn't, set on fire the way the Tu-95s did. As we saw earlier at Dyagilevo, I am hopeful that the Il-76 near the fire damage may have taken a hit as well. The New York Times, citing US officials, has put the number at around 20 aircraft destroyed or severely damaged so far. They also confirm that the A-50 is out of action. So that's it for this video. Hope you found it interesting. Now I'm going to play a video from NAFO about the ongoing fundraiser featuring Sukumima's channel patches starring Muffin, my pet rabbit. The fundraiser is nearly over now, so it'll be your last chance to get a Muffin patch. Donation link is in the description. Thanks very much and take care everybody.
UAV company split of 13th Battalion 95th Air Assault Brigade. We're in dire need of a pickup truck for evacuating wounded personnel and for completing combat missions. On top of that, we also need Mavic 3T drones to enhance our reconnaissance and combat capabilities. We ask NAFO and charity fund 99, Help 99, to provide us with said equipment. Glory to Ukraine.